Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, the United States saw a new daily record of people testing positive for coronavirus yesterday. What the data tells researchers about when and where those cases were likely caught.
We have what feels like a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make a change.
People packed the Bakersfield City Council meeting as the city's budget takes center stage as activists call for less funding for the police department. We'll tell you what the council actually decided coming up.
A small mountain town was badly shaken up yesterday when a 5.8 magnitude quake hit mid-morning. Many here in Kern County felt it too, bringing back memories of Ridgecrest just days from the one-year anniversary. This is Thursday, June 25th, 2020.
Good morning. It is 5 a.m. on this Thursday, and yeah, Maddie and Kevin, I know that a lot of us felt the earthquake yesterday, but I have to say I experienced something for the first time yesterday, and that was getting a warning before the earthquake. We'll talk a little bit more about that warning system coming up, but some people got the warning before, but I think most of everyone got the warning like several minutes after the earthquake. And
that was me. I was one of those people. So I felt a little tiny shake and thought maybe that was something. And then I realized from our work chat that it actually had happened. And then a few minutes later got that warning. And I think for myself and a lot of other people who got it late, we were really kind of put on edge thinking, oh my gosh, even a bigger one may be coming. So yeah, we'll talk about that, how you can get this app if you don't have it yet, and what exactly it does. But let's go ahead and talk about our forecast. The cloud cover yesterday did us a few favors in the weather department, right, Kev?
Yeah, it kept our temperatures down, and yeah, I didn't feel the earthquake. I was in our other studio doing a few things and didn't feel it at all. Yeah, the cloud cover yesterday that we talked about did bring our temperatures down a little bit. 101 was the high. Normally we should be about 93. The record of 111 set back in 1925. We will be a little warmer than that 101 today. Take you outside. You can see the Padre Hotel, downtown Bakersfield. Beautiful shot, and the sun will be up soon. And here's a look at our watches and warnings, and we do have the heat advisory in place. And again, having canceled that out, it will be in place until Saturday evening. Skies remain clear for the most part for the valley. We are still seeing a little bit of cloud cover into our mountain regions. That will continue to clear out as we go throughout the day. 79 degrees in Bakersfield right now under a calm wind, so it's definitely a warm start. Humidity at 40%. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast for you today. We'll be near 79 and mostly sunny at 7 a.m., 96 at noon, and by 3 o'clock, 102. Into the mountains, upper 60s, so a very mild start. West-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour right now. And as we take a look at the temperatures for today, we'll be starting out in the 60s, partly cloudy, and then we should see mostly sunny skies as we progress into the afternoon. And by 3 o'clock, we're going to be looking at 92. I'll have more on your forecast coming up in just a little bit. First, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Well, did you at home feel it? An earthquake hit Inyo County and rattled more than a few windows here in Kern County yesterday. The magnitude 5.8 shaker hit southeast of Lone Pine at 10:40 yesterday morning. The U.S. Geological Survey places the epicenter 4.7 kilometers below Owens Lake. That's about 3 miles underground. The quake comes 2 days after a 4.6 quake hit the same area, which USGS scientists now say is considered a foreshock. 17 aftershocks followed, the strongest, another 4.6, hitting just minutes after the biggest one. And the quake triggered this rock slide at a campground near Mount Whitney, just west of Lone Pine. The picture was shared with us by Ridgecrest Police Chief Jed McLaughlin. He says he sent 2 officers to the epicenter to check things out, and there were no reports of major damage in Lone Pine or any other communities along the eastern Sierra in Inyo County. So that's some good news. Here's some more pictures from the area, this time from Inyo County's Sheriff's Department. The SO had to evacuate the area, and 2 roads had to be closed down. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Those cars, however, completely dusted by the slide.
Here at home, the intensity of shock waves from the earthquake varied depending on where you were at the time of the earthquake, but still many were shaken up by the temblor. A swinging chandelier encapsulates how one local woman saw the jolt yesterday. She was at home in southwest Bakersfield on a Zoom call when it happened.
I was sitting at my desk preparing for a client meeting on a Zoom, and all of a sudden, my desk started moving, shaking, and I felt like I was on a boat. I looked at my chandelier in the hallway or the entryway, and we are having an earthquake.
Another person, Arthur Gray, was parked at an East Bakersfield fast strip when he felt the ground shake. He and his son were both shocked by the experience.
The car has auto stabilizers, and as the earthquake was going on, even though it was only a few seconds, the car automatic stabilizers just started going crazy, and the car started bouncing and trying to reposition itself and everything. And my 12-year-old son, he jumped up and was like, Dad, what's going on?
And just a reminder, you can download the MyShake Alert app to get earthquake warnings on your phone. It only alerts you just a few seconds before a magnitude 4.5 or greater earthquake could affect you. And again, it is available on the iOS and Android stores. It is free and easy to download. Also, you can sign up for disaster alerts from Kern County's emergency service. Just go to readykern.com.
All right, other news this morning, a battle over Bakersfield's budget. The city council heard from dozens of passionate community members before voting on the $628 million budget. 17's Aton Wallace watched the meeting and has a recap this morning.
Right off the bat, let me tell you, after a meeting that lasted more than 4 hours, the council unanimously approved the budget, but not before dozens of community members expressed concerns and demands the city divest from BPD. Before the meeting started Wednesday, demonstrators gathered outside City Hall to send a message to council members to vote against the proposed $628 million budget. Of that, roughly $120 million will go toward BPD, a 10% increase from last year because of new funding from Measure N. With the council's approval, the department is expected to add 44 positions over the next year, including an additional 29 sworn officers. But roughly 24 people at the meeting voiced opposition.
We are asking you to defund BPD and adopt the budget that we've created that reflects what people in Bakersfield actually want.
We need affordable housing. We need more access to mental health services. We need more intervention services, substance abuse. We need better education systems. So we are here, in case you never heard this before, to tell you to defund the police department and help our communities.
I'm tired of seeing solutions to homelessness be increased police. I'm tired of seeing solutions to mental health crises be increased police. We need to start putting money in other places.
We have what feels like a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make a change. And if you don't want to do your job and listen to the people, then I'm going to politely ask, resign.
While the majority of the speakers called on the council to divest from the police, a select handful offered the opposite approach.
Businesses want to be protected by their city. The police, defunding it is not the solution. Policing and protecting our community and our businesses, which fund us, need to be protected.
City Manager Christian Clegg said he and city staff reviewed proposals from the People's Budget BACO calling for the city to divest from police and invest in underserved communities. But Clegg maintained many of those demands are met by the budget. He says $25 million from Measure N is allocated for homelessness, housing, and economic development. Another $30 million for local parks.
Our budget in many areas is actually very well aligned with the recommendations that are being made. Measure N funding is going towards our law enforcement being able to have the staff to do more community engagement, more proactive community policing to get at our quality assurance programs and so forth.
At the end, roughly 4 hours into the meeting, the council unanimously approved the budget. And it is important to note, Clegg said as it stands right now, the city is running a budget surplus. And a quick side note here, the council approved city staff's plan to hold a Ward 1 special election to coincide with the general election this November and agreed First Ward Councilman Willie Rivera will not need to step down until a successor is voted in. Reporting in Bakersfield, Aton Wallace, 17 News.
A new record for the number of people testing positive for coronavirus in one day. According to NBC News and tracking data, there were more than 45,500 COVID-19 cases yesterday. That tops the previous highest daily count from April 26th by more than 9,000 cases. The World Health Organization reported its single-day record on Sunday, with more than 183,000 new cases worldwide in a single day. Health experts say the resurgence in cases in southern and western states can be traced to Memorial Day, when many officials began loosening lockdowns and reopening businesses. And here's a look at our coronavirus numbers here at home. 3 more people have died from COVID-19 in Kern. That brings our total to 63 people who have lost their life to the virus. The department reported 59 new cases, bringing the total to more than 4,100. Over 2,900 people have recovered. Today, Public Health will have another briefing, and we'll bring you those numbers in just a few hours.
Your time now is 5:10. A new study shows counties would have had a lower infection rate of COVID-19 if they started using face masks early on. Researchers in Hong Kong examined the severity of outbreaks in 42 countries and found there was a correlation between use of face masks and lower infection rates. They specifically mentioned several Asian countries where infection rates were generally modest and use of face masks was ubiquitous. But it's harder to assess whether the masks are more effective than social distancing and hand washing, which health experts also urge people to do. Still ahead, illegal fireworks seem to go off every night across parts of Kern County.
And fire investigators made a huge discovery yesterday, removing thousands from the streets. We'll show you next. Welcome back. If you were out and about last night, you may have seen some smoke in the sky. Take a look at this. This was a house fire that started in the garage of a vacant home just before 8 o'clock last night. This is in the 1900 block of Haley Street. Firefighters were able to stop the flames before they engulfed a neighboring home. No injuries were reported. The cause is still under investigation. Well, after weeks of fireworks going off all night, all over the county, fire investigators apparently hit the jackpot. Kern County Fire shared this picture on social media, saying arson investigators seized a huge stash of fireworks in Bakersfield yesterday. That is 1,500 pounds of illegal fireworks on that truck. Remember, you can report illegal fireworks by going to kerncountyfire.org. In your 17 Core Watch, a former teacher's aide pleaded no contest to a charge of committing a lewd or lascivious act with a child either 14 or 15 years old. Steve Gonzalez was 45 when he was arrested in February 2019 after being accused of engaging in sexual misconduct with a child. At the time, he worked as an aide in a special education classroom at Hart Elementary School in Bakersfield. Gonzalez faces 180 days in jail, 3 years felony probation, and will be required to register as a sex offender. Prosecutors say the plea deal was made after consulting with the victim's family. Police said the victim did not attend the school. Sentencing is scheduled for July 23rd. Also due in court today, a father accused of endangering and torturing his own child. Earlier this month, KCSO deputies performed a welfare check on a 7-year-old that was possibly being abused, after neighbors said they saw the child bound at the wrists and ankles. That's exactly what deputies say they found when they arrived at the home on Beardsley Avenue. KCSO says an investigation revealed the father, William Davis, would often tie the child up while he went out and regularly hit the child. Davis was arrested on June 23rd. He's due in court this afternoon at 3. And just a reminder, if you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, you can report him at 631-6011. Many of the mandated reporters in children's lives have been absent for months now with the stay-at-home orders in effect and schools closed since March. Experts fear this could lead to child abuse going unnoticed or underreported. Also due in court, Abel Almanza. He is the man accused of road rage that ended in a crash earlier this week. It happened on Tuesday morning on South 8th Street near Hosking Road. BPD says Almanza had been trying to run another car off the road along Highway 99. Once the two cars got off the freeway, BPD says Almanza rammed the other car from behind, forcing it into the canal. Police arrested Almanza a short time later. He's due in court later today. And just a reminder that you can stay safe on our roads if you don't drink and drive. Police are conducting a DUI checkpoint this weekend. It's happening on Saturday between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. So if you're planning to drink, make sure you find a safe way to get back home by calling an Uber or Lyft or another ride-sharing app, or calling a friend to pick you up. BPD reminds people that a DUI does not just mean drinking. Being high behind the wheel will also get you in trouble. As always, if you see someone you suspect may be impaired or under the influence, call 911 immediately.
Thanks, Kev. New overnight, yesterday was the biggest single day so far for new coronavirus cases in the U.S. as the Trump administration pulls funding for testing. Our Washington correspondent Tracy Potts has more on what you need to know.
Hi, Maddie. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. The numbers, brand new that we got overnight, support what federal health officials have been saying, that this virus isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
The U.S. hit a new record overnight. More than 45,000 people were diagnosed with coronavirus Wednesday, the highest daily total since the pandemic began.
This is shocking.
23 states have seen an increase in the last 2 weeks.
We're not even testing all those individuals who have the infection.
The South and Western U.S., where states started to reopen early, are taking the biggest hits. There are record cases and hospitalizations in Florida, Arizona, and Texas. Houston could run out of ICU beds in 2 weeks. The state's governor calls it a massive outbreak. He's urging people to stay inside.
There's never a reason for you to have to leave your home unless you do need to go out.
Florida and Michigan are seeing a rise in new cases among young adults.
The kinds of people that you see go out, feel pent up, go out to a bar, go out to a crowd, and don't wear a mask.
New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, which once led the nation, are now on the decline. They're requiring visitors from the latest hotspots to quarantine for 2 weeks. It's part of a worldwide spike.
We expect to reach a total of 10 million cases within the next week.
The CDC predicts the U.S. could reach 150,000 deaths in the next month.
The Trump administration is pulling federal funding for community test sites, but say they'll broaden support for testing in hundreds of retail stores, pharmacies, and health centers. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.